Good evening, everyone. Myself, Nayan Asrani, and my teammates are going to present on the topic phonocardiography, commonly referred as PCG. This is a fascinating non invasive technique used in cardiology to study heart movements and sound with the help of light based sensors. Now, let us see the introduction of this topic. A phonocardiography is essentially a recording of heart activity captured using the light and photoelectric sensors placed on the skin. Unlike invasive methods, it is completely safe and painless. It provides valuable insights into heart sounds and murmurs, which makes it very useful for diagnosing and monitoring cardiac function. In short, PCG bridges the gap between simple stethoscope listening and advanced image techniques. Now, let us see the graph of this introduction. This graph represents the heart sounds as recorded by the photocardiograph. The first sound S1 caused by the closure of martial and tricuspidal valves. Second sound S2 produced by closure of aortic and pulmonary valves. Third sound S3 caused due to rapid filling of ventricles after the valves open. Fourth sound S4 produced by arterial contraction forcing blood into ventricles just before the next heartbeat. Now let us see the architectural diagram of this topic. At the core, the setup involves a sensor to detect vibration, then a signal processor to clean and amplify the data, and finally a display unit that presents the heart sounds in the form of waveform. The design is simple but effective in converting physical heart vibration into relatable medical data. Now my other teammates will continue with the rest of the PPT.
So now I'll be talking about the working principle of this PCG. So what happens is that it has like four main steps. The first main steps are capturing the sound, turning those sounds into signals, then processing and cleaning those signals, and then showing the results in a very useful way. So the first step includes sensing the sounds. And now for sensing, what we have to sense first of all, we have to sense the valve closures, and the valve closures include the S1 and S2, the lub and dub sound, which is produced by the mitral and tricuspid valves, and S2 sound produced by the aortic and pulmonary valves. Then the blood flow turbulence, that is also to be recorded, which is normally the whoosh sound that we get. This is like if the blood doesn't flow smoothly, we get these extra sound. These are also called murmurs. So these two kind of sounds are of importance, clinical importance. So for capturing these sounds, we have different kinds of sensors. First one is the piezoelectric sensor, which is also called the crystal sensor. For the now the crystal sensor, what happens is that it is like a pressure microphone. So when it gets squeezed by the vibration, it creates a small electric charge which is very sensitive to even faint heart sounds. Then we have the dynamic coil system, which is like the old school mic we have, in which a little coil is there inside it, which moves inside a magnetic field and produces electricity. This is very great for robust signals. Then we have the PVDF signals, which are the special plastic signals. These are the modern ones, and they can ignore background noise like room sounds and focus more on the tissue's vibration. Then the second step involves converting those electric sounds into electrical converting those sounds into electrical signals. For that, we take help of the piezoelectric effect and the electromagnetic induction. With the help of piezoelectric effect, we convert the sound vibration, and those vibrations squeeze the particles in special crystals and create electrical charges, which are then converted to voltage signals. It works best for ranges we care about, like 30 to 100 hertz and 100 to 300 hertz. That is for S1 and S2 respectively. Then comes the dynamic mic effect, which takes help of the electromagnetic induction, wherein the coil moves as the vibration hits it and makes electricity, with the same principle as the electric guitar pickups, and it is used for needed frequencies. Now we have got the we have converted the signal into electrical one. Now we'll process the signal. For that, we use filtering. Uh, in filtering, we firstly use the bandpass filter, which actually lets only the middle rate sound go through. It blocks the whispers and the shouts, like the low, very low sounds and the very high sounds, so that only the middle thing wherein the hard sounds lie, we only get that one. Then we also do pre-processing with the help of wavelets. It takes help of wavelet transform techniques, and it breaks the sound into pieces based on both time and frequency. Then we do signal enhancement with the help of Shannon energy calculation, wherein it highlights the very sharp bangs in the signal. Uh, those bangs are characterized by the valve closures, and also it detects the envelopes. That is, it traces the outlines of the sound waves to see wherein each beat starts and ends. Then now comes the math behind this. The math behind it, it involves taking help of short time Fourier transform. So what happens is that in the maths, includes converting those signals, taking help of some like mathematical functions like Fourier transform, and uh, what it does, it takes the signal and it gives you the frequencies present in it. It ignores time, and it assumes that the whole signal is infinite and stationary. Then like in simple language, we can say that it takes the signal and chops it into small overlapping windows of time, so that we can see in each window what frequencies exist, and we can slide the window forward, and like we can see like the different frequencies that are there. Then after this short-term Fourier transform, this like we have to display the result, and for displaying the result, because we want to make the signals like what they want to convey. We want to make it more clear. We take help of waveform display like cardiogram uh, for sound waves, and we see how long each valve closure lasts. And we also take help of spectrotemporal analysis, in which we take a 3D graph, and it shows the amplitude, loudness, time, frequency, showing everything happening during a heart cycle. And also we also take help of automated detection by taking help of algorithms that detect the lub and dub sounds reliably even in noisy environments. And we also take help of some clinical tools like ECG, PCG display, spectrograms, and different statistic techniques. Now the rest of the thing will be explained by my other teammate.
Okay, so moving on the applications part, we all know the lub-dub sounds. A phonocardiogram takes these sounds and creates a visual record, like a graph. Firstly, this helps with the heart sound analysis. By turning the sounds into a picture, we can precisely analyze the lub-dub beats. This helps us to spot even the slightest problem. Secondly, detecting heart murmurs. A murmur is an extra whooshing sound. Some are harmless, but others can signal a serious issue. The phonocardiogram gives a clear picture of murmur, helping the doctor to tell the difference between a normal sound and a sign of heart trouble. Nextly, we have the heart diagnosis of heart valve disorder. The phonocardiogram that captures the unique sounds of faulty heart valves, whether they are too narrow or are leaking. This gives a doctor a clear picture of the problem. Next, we have the computer-aided diagnosis with it. We are now using AI to analyze the heart sounds automatically. This technology helps us to detect and classify heart conditions with high accuracy, essentially acting as a helpful second opinion for the doctors. Nextly, we have the recent advancements in the phonocardiogram. Since the phonocardiogram was a large machine, we have integrated into a tiny sensors so that we can use it as a wearable device, like a small patches worn on the chest. It allows continuous long-term monitoring Instead of quick checkup, these devices can listen to your heart throughout the day and night. This helps the doctor to catch the problem that can only occur sometimes, making heart health monitor much more convenient. Next, we have telemedicine and remote diagnosis. A digital stethoscope can now send heart sounds wirelessly. This means a doctor can listen to a patient's heart from far away, making it easier for people in any location to get the expert care. Next, we have integrated multi-sensor systems. New devices are combining the phonocardiogram with the other sensors like ECG and PPG in one unit. This gives the doctor a comprehensive view of heart health by looking at the electrical activity, sounds, and blood flow all at once. Coming to the questions, the first question is which of the following is the key advantage of a modern wearable phonocardiography devices? Can you guess?
I think the answer should be the B one.
Okay, can you please? Show? Okay, that's the correct answer. Next, artificial intelligence is being used in PCG analysis to perform which of the following tasks? Can you guess?
Again, I think the answer should be the B one.
Okay, yes, that's the correct answer. The third question is how does telemedicine benefit from the digital stethoscope?
Okay, the answer should be D.
Okay, can that, okay, that's the correct answer. Thank you so much.